Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Breathe and Budget. If you're new here, my name is Taryn and we talk all about budgeting, intentional spending, and how our finances impact our lifestyle. Today we're going to dive into our third paycheck for the month of June. It's technically my second paycheck, but it's our third as a dual income household. This paycheck came out to $2,228, and that's after taxes and pre-tax contributions like my pension, my 457B investment account, Colonial, Aflac, life insurance, all the things. And as always, we tell our money where to go and not wonder where it went. All right, we keep money for our fixed expenses in our checking account since everything is already set up on autopay. So for this paycheck, we are covering second half of mortgage, which is $450, iCloud storage for $10, HBO Max for $3, shout out to those Black Friday deals, and Six Flags for $29. So that brings us to $492 for our fixed expenses, which leaves us with $1,736 to work with. Now let's move on to our variable spending. So we have $325 for groceries, $200 for gasoline, and $175 for personal spending. That totals $700, which we transfer, well, except for the personal spending money, we transfer to a separate checking account that my spouse and kids have access to. It just makes shared spending easier to track. And so that leaves us with $1,036. This week, we are going to focus on low priority sinking funds. So these are still meaningful, but they're either long-term goals or the kind of expense that we would cut first if our income changed. So we're cash stuffing a total of $1,001 into these categories. So obviously, as always, to water and trash, $20 each paycheck. Seasons is going to be $200, and I'll go more into what that is in the cash stuffing portion. Vacation, $336. Kids clothing, $50. Graduation, $50. Wellness, $20. All Trails, fabulous app, $5. And then for my husband's clothing fund, $20. Mine, $40. Hair, $220. Again, I'll talk about it when I'm cash stuffing. And streaming is $10. Annual memberships is $5, and gifts is $5. So that leaves us with $35, and that's going to go towards our 52-week savings challenge as well as our bookmark savings challenge, which brings us down to a zero-based budget, because that's how zero-based budgeting works. Nothing's left floating. We direct every dollar intentionally. Let's get into my favorite part of adulting. If you're catching this reel, here's a quick recap. We keep our fixed expenses in our checking account since they're on autopay, and we align our bills with our paychecks. Whatever bills are due between now and the next paycheck get covered. Anything left over goes towards sinking funds and savings challenges. Our savings challenges are going to go towards our emergency fund. And I've been thinking about filming a full update on where we are with our emergency fund, how much we've saved, what our current goal is, and how we're staying consistent. If you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments. All right, last week we stuffed our high priority categories like vehicle and home expenses. This week we're focusing on low priority categories. Still important, just not urgent. First things first, let's get this cash sorted so we can start stuffing with intention. All right, this week we will be cash stuffing $1,211. This combo with the teller breakdown, the pouch with any personalization you want right here, or if you want it in the middle, wherever, this is available in my Etsy shop. $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1,000, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1200, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So $1,211. Let's get started. Okay, first things first, we hop into our high priority binder every week because we need to replenish our personal spending money. So we are going to go to my personal spending money. I put $75 in here every week. I challenge myself to not touch it because I want to put this towards savings challenges. And as I said, our savings challenges are going to go towards our emergency fund. So I do take this 75 out. I put it to the side because that's going to go towards our savings challenges. So now I'm going to add another $75. I'm going to challenge myself to not spend it, although I think I might take just a little bit, put it in my wallet. I want to build a little bit of personal spending in my wallet just to kind of give myself a little bit of grace, just because I've been really good at not spending this and putting it to savings. And it being summer, I don't know. I want a little bit of extra spending cash in my wallet. So we're going to go ahead and put 5 ones, but also the $2 bill. We're going to do 8 fives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to do 3 10s. I have some pretty poor 10s this week, but that's all right. It happens. So this should be 75, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75. Perfect. All right. And then my husband, he gets $100 spending money every week. That's just the amount that we worked out because I also put money towards my nails. So that's also can be considered like my personal self-care. So he's going to go ahead and get 100. I just do that in 20s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he has money in here from last week. Oh, he has some decent 20s. I might swap those out actually, because again, he does not care what the money looks like. I try to put the nicer bills in my long-term like cash envelopes just because they are nicer on the envelopes, if that makes sense. Like it's just, I want these to last as long as possible, and so I like to use nice crisp bills when possible. So now he has 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, so he has 160 in his personal spending. Okay, so that's it in the essential binder. This gets fully cash stuffed using the first paycheck of every month. So we've already done that, and we just replenish our personal spending each week. All right, we're going to hop into high priority first, and we are going to go to our home category. I like to add $20 from each paycheck towards our water and trash bill. These are not billed monthly. One is quarterly, one is bi-monthly. I had someone make a comment on my last video saying, like, what am I throwing away my whole house? Like, why is my trash bill so much? So it is $156 every 3 months. That's my trash bill. It's quarterly. So just because I have however much I have in here doesn't mean that's a monthly bill, and it doesn't mean that that's the actual amount of our quarterly bill either. I like to build this up just so that when the bill generates, I have the money and we're ready to go. So now in trash, I have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 245. So this tells me that my next bill is fully covered and I'm on my way to saving for the bill after that. Water is also going to get 20. Now we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 35, 36, 236. So this is, no, not quite 2 bills, like not, because this is every other month. And it's about, it could be anywhere from like 120 to 140. It just depends on our water usage. We will be filling up our above ground pool, so our bill might be a little bit higher, but we're doing pretty good on that. So that is it in the high priority binder. Now let's go into low priority. All right, this is my low priority. This does not mean these are less important than our high priority. These are just either areas that we have time to save, we're not in a rush, or perhaps if something changed with our income, these would be like on the chopping block first. So again, the whole setup that you see, I know I get a lot of questions in my videos about the binders, dashboards, bookmarks, all of this I sell in my Etsy shop. So definitely check that out. That is linked in my bio. Same thing with the envelopes. Okay, so starting with memories. So I have this tabbed. First one is memories. And I have envelopes for each season. These are also a collection in my shop, the Seasons collection, different styles, but this is the one I chose. Why I separate our like family fun, spending money by season is if I have just one envelope for family fun, I'm going to spend it all in this season. If I designate it for each specific season, there's just something about it where I would feel guilty touching spring while we're in summer or touching winter while we're in summer. It just, I don't know, holds me accountable. I don't know. It's psychology, I guess, for me, but it does definitely helps us not spend more than we should be and making sure we have family fun money for each season. So let's get started. I'm actually putting $200 this time. So I did 720s. And 6 10s. Okay, so that should be 200. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. So I like to just split it among the seasons. Spring is the furthest away, but I think I'm going to do $30 in spring. So we have 130 now for spring. Summer is our current season. So I'm going to go ahead and add 50. So let's see what we have. So we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 250. I'll probably wind up taking that with us when we go to Big Bear. Kind of sounds like a good idea. Okay, so fall. Let's do 40. I'm going to wind up having to go back and adding a little bit more because I pulled more than I normally do. Normally I do 150 for seasons. This week I did 200. So fall has 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. And before we go to winter, because I think I'll do 40 in winter, I'm going to put this in summer. So let's see. We have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 240, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 290. And then let me put the rest into winter. Okay, so now we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 30. Perfect. All right. And then for vacation, I actually had to take from this because my husband and I did a mini midweek getaway. So I pulled, I think I had 300 in here. I pulled that. So I'm going to just go ahead and put back, I'm actually going to put 336. Where do I get 36? Because I use every dollar. And that's just what I had like left over. So that's what we used. So 320, 335, 336. Okay, that's going to go to vacation. So moving into the kids section, for kids clothing, I'm going to go ahead and add $50. So this could be considered like a back to school envelope for my kids. We are with a charter school, which there's so much chaos around that in California right now, but I won't get into that. So instead of a back to school, I just do clothing because we are able to use the funding that we get to purchase all the supplies and the curriculum. So I don't necessarily need a back to school category, but they do need new clothes, shoes, undergarments, things like that. So they grow so fast is their clothing envelope. And now we have 100, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 363. All right, perfect. Moving right along. Graduation, we're going to go ahead and add $50. So this is going to go towards our next graduate. Next year, I have another child graduating. So we're getting started. We have $205 in graduation. So we're going to see how much we can save by graduation, which would be obviously like for us, May of next year. So we're going to keep at it. So now I'm going to go into the us category, which is my husband and I, and I'm going to go right into wellness. Wellness is pretty much the whole household too. Like this goes towards adding things to our home gym. So now we have 270 in here, and I need to pull just a little bit because I did purchase more of those like the gym floor mats, because we want the entire gym to be the mats versus like some of it's mats right now, some of it's the concrete, but we want it to be all mat. Okay, All Trails. This is a fabulous app if you are into hiking. So it basically tells you your local trails. You can track your hike and then also post like reviews, read other people's reviews so that you can see like what they encountered or what they experienced on that particular trail. All right, and then for my husband's clothing, we are going to add $20. He has a little bit more than me, so he's getting 20 and I'm going to get 40. So he has 50, 70, 90, 110, 125, 126, 127, 128. He doesn't usually buy like new clothes. This typically goes towards purchasing his new like work uniforms and steel toe boots and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to add 40 to mine. So now I have 80. And then for hair, I am going to go ahead and add $220. This is going to seem like a lot. And yes, it is definitely more than what I would normally do. And I did just get my hair done not too long ago, but I'm actually trying to get it to a specific color. So it's going to require a couple sessions. And I really wanted this session to happen before we travel to Big Bear. So because it's within my budget, I'm going to go ahead and treat myself to doing that. Our bills are covered. We have come a long way. We have increased our income either by, getting a different job, getting promoted, being better with our spending, saving. So where I'm at in my journey is going to be a little bit different than maybe where you're at. You could be doing better than me. You could be in a place where you feel that you don't have the extra money to save that way. But I'll tell you this. If you feel that way, I promise you, track your spending, see where your money's going, because I guarantee you are overspending in whatever category is generally your vice, and you could probably cut back, free up some money so that you can do other things that you really want to do. So something to consider. Okay, so let's go to the annual section. Streaming, we're going to go ahead and add a $10 bill. So now we have 25. I usually pay for Paramount Plus like annually, and that one doesn't really give good Black Friday deals, unfortunately. So yeah, I just save and pay for it annually. And then we're going to go to annual memberships. We're going to add $5, so that's 25. We have one child that graduated, right? So that means that when we start up at school, purchasing membership passes to different places would not include the one that graduated. So I'm saving with the anticipation that we will be paying out of pocket for some of those memberships going forward. And then gifts is going to get $5. So now we have $45. And this is just if we are invited to, let's say, a baby shower or a bridal party or whatever. This would be where we would pull from to purchase those gifts. Okay, so that's it for low priority. Let's hop into our savings challenges. All right, So we're hopping into our 52-week savings challenge. This is also available in my shop. Sorry for the glare, but it is very sparkly. So we're going to go to week 6, and for week 29, we're going to go ahead and add $30. And then for the bookmark savings challenge this week, it is $5. So we're going to go ahead and add $5. I just keep the money that I'm saving for this back here in this envelope. And someone asked me in my last video too, what do I do with like the money that I save? Like, do I have different high yield savings accounts? I mean, I have 2 accounts, one with PNC, one with Ally. PNC is our emergency fund, and Ally is where I put like all of our other sinking funds or mini emergency funds, like for the vehicle and for the home. But what I like to do, which you will see at the end of July, is I like to count up how much we were able to save in savings challenges that first half of the year. And then this money I probably won't pull. I probably won't count this in July, but I will count our other savings challenges like our farmers market savings challenge, our wildflower savings challenges, the fun scratch offs that we've been doing. I'll probably count that money, and then that money gets deposited into PNC for our emergency fund. I'm really curious to see how much we're saving with this challenge, since I have been increasing and not doing it traditionally, like the traditional way. So I might wait till the end of the year to count this. Same thing with the bookmark savings challenge, because this year we've been able to do a lot of the bonuses versus last year we were not. So yeah, that's basically how I do that. So make sure that you either subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, follow me on any other like social media platform so that you can see how much we were able to save for the first half of the year. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and watching me budget and cash stuff some of our low priority categories. Remember, every small step adds up. Consistency is key. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy budgeting!